Hello friends, in this video I want to take this screen apart. This is a computer screen, and it could be a TV set. It's an LCD screen. It also could be a notebook. Any of those contain similar materials. We're permanently finding these thrown out in the street, tripping over them. They are not worth much. The recyclers don't get much out of these. So instead of throwing it out into the junk, we can take it apart and we might be able to use some of these parts. I'm going to show you what it contains and the possible uses we can give it. Most of these screens, LCD screens, have the same materials inside. It varies very little. In this case, the screen has some screws here. Others don't have screws. You simply push your screwdriver in there and you click it off. This is the main screen of our computer. This is inside here is where we find the liquid crystal. This is a sandwich of many layers of materials. And here's where the pixels form, our images are created. But we'll see this in detail after. On the back we have this layer first. There is a protective metal. Then we have these strips here, these two strips that are fluorescent lights. Two little tubes of fluorescent light that is what produces the image on a screen. They throw light in that direction and in that direction, in both directions, to fill in all the space. Now, after the liquid crystal screen, we have this layer of it's a film for diffusion of the light. After that, we have another diffusion film or layer, and then we have an acrylic layer, a very thick acrylic layer. As you can see, it's painted white on this side and on this side to stop the light from getting out. The lights that are sent across this acrylic layer from this side and from this side, they crash together there. And if you notice, this acrylic is full of little dots, and these dots are supposed to make the light bounce back and forth on the white background and on the sides, so it all try to make it as uniform as possible, so you don't have a big amount of light on one side and less amount in the middle, for example. Now, these little fluorescent tubes, you can see it along there, it contains mercury. And that's very poisonous for the environment, for us, so we must avoid breaking them. And we have to dispose of them properly. That means putting them in a plastic bag and putting that plastic bag in a box and labeling the box mercury and then giving it to one of these businesses that recycle hazardous materials. new TV sets or computer screens, LCDs, don't use these kind of lamps anymore. Now they're using LEDs to give backlighting for the LCDs. Now, let's start with these. These diffusing materials can be used for many things. In photography, when we work with studio lights, the shadows we get can be very hard, and that's why that's called hard lights. That shadow we see behind my hand is what is produced by a hard light. If we do this with a diffuser between the light and our hand, the shadows we get are much softer, and the light that shines on the hand is also much softer. And that's why a diffuser is preferable when shooting photographs in a studio. So we can use a sheet of diffuser to take photographs in a studio, but also we could use it to cover our flash to make the light of the flash much softer. Professional photographers know these materials, they use them all the time in their studios, and they usually buy them in a shop. But now with this information they can take their computer apart, their screen, take it apart and use that material instead for free. Another thing we can do with these diffusing films is make a screen for a lamp. If we paste these together there and we make a frame for a screen, we can put it on a lamp and it looks very pretty, very modern, and it makes the light from the lamp softer. Other screens produce another kind of layer, that is this one. Depending on the angle in which you look, you get a mirror or you can see through it. And of course, here we have a lamp on the right, but we also have a lamp on the left, but we only have one lamp. These sheets, they also are quite soft enough to cut them. You can cut different forms with a pair of scissors, not more than that, and we can use them as templates. Let's see the piece of acrylic. This piece of acrylic would be great in the kitchen. We could put our meat there, the veggies, and start cutting them up. Perfect cutting board. The only problem here with using this in the kitchen is this might have been treated with some material that is not safe with food. So as we don't know what treatment this acrylic has had, we'd better not use it in the kitchen. At least I would not recommend using it in the kitchen. If you want to try, you can. And if you start getting green eyes or a red nose, well, that's your fault. But it might be safe, but I don't know. Okay? What else can we do with this? We can cut this. It's very easy to cut, and if we heat it, we can even give it form. This is quite thick, so we can't heat it up too much, or we might ruin it. But we can cut it into different forms. We can create toys and other things that I show you in these images. If the screen you've taken this flexible material diffuser out of a TV set is big enough, or even the acrylic from that screen is big enough, you can use it to cover a desk. For example, my desk has a beautiful finish on it, and I don't want to ruin it with my coffee or my cigarettes or anything that might fall on there and make it look ugly. So before buying a piece of glass for that, I'm protecting it with this material, flexible material from a much bigger TV set on the screen I just took apart. This is thicker material, but it is that flexible diffuser material. The layers of polarized material that are part of this sandwich of crystal liquid, I tried taking them off, but I don't find any real use for this material, so I wouldn't waste my time on that if I were you. Okay friends, I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, share it, leave your comments below, and thanks for watching. Bye bye.